This episode of the Denny J Show is brought to you by Ezulwini Villa Boutique Hotel, a touch of heaven on earth.
The Denny J Show.
Zvanga zviri downta up tauraitirwe nyaya dzacho dzese narrative ndaichidwe kana mchida kutipisa deep ndaipidwe make you spill a bean if you know what I mean hande.
It's time! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the hottest show on YouTube. The Denny J Show back to back with Boss Run G.
Absolutely.
What's happening?
Not too much. How's your week?
Week was great.
Was it?
Yeah.
Anything interesting happen or no?
No, not really. The last episode, what did you think of that? That was pretty dope, right?
The last episode was so fire. There's so many comments coming back about what we talked about. Of course, we talked about the wedding,
Right, yeah.
which was the hottest thing last week.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's been good.
Yeah, it is.
been really good.
Thank you guys for watching the show.
Absolutely.
Like, subscribe. Make sure you turn on notifications. You don't want to miss out when we upload something. Today we have a very special guest, and I'm going to let Ranji introduce her. This is our very first female guest, and we're so excited. Run is more excited than I am.
I am very excited. It's so nice to have another woman on the show. These boys bully me so bad. They like to say I'm one of the boys, but it's rough and tough. There's peaks and valleys. But we've got a guest from the diaspora.
Right.
Olinda Chapel Nkomo.
Whoa! Applause!
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much, Olinda, for coming and gracing us with your presence on the show.
Okay.
I'm excited
Why are you excited?
because there's another woman.
Like I said, you look like you can handle yourself. So I should be worried about the boys, not you.
Girl.
True, man.
But anyway, Olinda, thank you so much for coming on the show. We've got a lot of tough questions to ask you.
Okay.
I hope you're prepared for that.
Okay.
People want to know who you are. Like I said, I know you from social media. That's all I know about you.
Okay.
Right? I've got a few friends that know you personally, a few relatives that know you personally, but I know you from social media.
Okay.
So I don't know of what social media portrays of you as who you are, but I'd like you to walk me through who Olinda Chapel Nkomo is.
You do know that social media is like an hour out of 24 hours a day.
Okay.
So people get to see a glimpse, literally like an hour out of somebody's life. They don't get to see the other 23 hours.
All right.
And what happens behind the scenes.
Okay.
So who Olinda is a mom. I'm a mom to 3 kids.
Three,
yeah. My oldest son is 22, who I had when I was 17. I have to put it out there because I'm just 38, by the way.
Okay.
I've got
You had to get that out there. Right.
I've got my middle child, Jaden, and then I've got Princess Nandi, who's almost 3 now.
And your oldest son's name is?
Sean.
Sean.
Yeah.
All right. So Sean, Jaden, Nandi.
Yeah.
Got you. All right. So tell us a little bit about who you are. Who is Olinda? Like, let's remove the Chapel. So Olinda Chapel
Olinda
is
as
who
a
you
person.
are. Exactly.
Well, I like to think of myself a very loving and caring person. You know,
Alright.
like I support a lot of people in the community. I support a lot of women, especially in the UK, set up businesses.
So your community is the UK community?
Yes or no? I'm an international community. If you look on my LinkedIn, if you look on anything else, it says I'm a service to the community. That's what I live for. And I love serving the community in general and helping people. So what I've done in the past is I've helped a lot of women set up businesses, especially in the health and social care sector, which is my expertise.
Okay.
I support women get education here in Zimbabwe. I pay a lot of school fees, especially for young girls. We've got the Olinda Chapel Foundation, which has a constitution, and the constitution is to advocate for young women and girls.
Okay.
So that's what we mainly focus on, but we also try to empower the young man because we have to keep it balanced at the end of the day. It can't be one-sided.
Absolutely.
So that's what Olinda does. That is where my passion and the love and everything that, really gets me going, gets my juices flowing, is being a service to the community. I just would love to do as much as I possibly can with what I possibly have. With the OCF, a lot of people think we are donor-based, but no, it is money out of my pocket, out of Gain Healthcare and Gain Healthcare's dividends. That's where the money comes from. So we take a little bit of the profits that we make, and we invest it back into the community. And it's all about social responsibilities as a company, to be able to also give back to the community that's clearly giving back to us. Yeah.
You mentioned Gain Healthcare. Maybe give us a little bit of background on Gain Healthcare.
Gain Healthcare is a specialist health and social care company. We've got 3 divisions, which is the recruitment sector, where we supply agency staffing into nursing homes, residential homes, into the NHS, into hospitals and things like that. And then we've got the home care sector, where we provide end-of-life care support. Our nurses go door to door and they support people with cancer and all of that end-of-life packages. And then we've got the supported living side of the business, where we support 16 to 25-year-olds with different challenges in their life. So they live in our properties and we support them within our properties, which is mostly to do with mental health, ADHD, ASD, PTSD, and sexualized behavior. We also support sex offenders that are young and they need rehabilitation. So that's what Gain Healthcare does as a whole. So it is a huge company that is currently registered and operating in Zimbabwe, the United Kingdom, and South Africa.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about
Since
Gain,
2016.
talking about Gain, your company, Gain Healthcare, it is.
Yeah.
There was a story that came up regarding your company.
Yeah.
You were accused of running a scam, where your company was charging a non-refundable deposit to people wishing to train to get healthcare assistance certificates, which I believe are a requirement if you want to go work in the UK. What is the story there?
Not true. Simba Chikanza is a cloud-chasing idiot, as far as I am concerned, who does not have... This is the same person that accused me of plotting murder against Stana and wrote a whole article of it.
Sorry, what's his name?
Simba Chikanza,
ZimEye.
the one that runs ZimEye. He's a one-semester journalist, as far as I'm concerned.
Girl, you don't like him at all.
No, listen, he's a little petty man that is clearly confused with his own life, and he has not succeeded in anything, so feels the need to be dragging down a very young and successful entrepreneur, and he's got his own, I don't know, mummy issues that he needs to fix. Gain Healthcare is a very reputable company. For us to receive a sponsor license from the Home Office, it means that we're doing things right. They do a lot of checks, including your HMRC reporting, including how you've been trading. We've been trading since 2013, and all our accounts are up to date. Everything of ours is up to date. It is such a simple thing whereby if you were to go back and do a search on our Facebook page, you'll find that Gain Healthcare has never said we are charging an admin fee. That was not us.
So,
there was
you don't
company.
charge anything at all?
We don't charge anything at all.
The non-refundable deposit doesn't
There's
exist?
nothing like that. It was actually another company that was doing that. Right. But for the sake of numbers online, he just had to drop Olinda's name in the mix so that there's more views. So there's, as far as we're concerned, everybody that has come through our doors and applied for visas, we have had 100% success rate. So
there was no link whatsoever to this company?
None.
But you know what I'd like to know is that you said his name is Simba, correct?
Yeah.
Do you know him personally?
No, but I came to find out a very interesting fact about a month ago that he's actually, or was, married to my aunt.
And you didn't know that?
I didn't know. Well, distant relative, this, that, whatnot. Somebody else that was telling me that. Do you realize he's actually your Sekuro? I was like, huh?
I guess, what's interesting to me is to know that, okay, well, this happens all the time, right? But you seem like a target to him for whatever reason it is, right? So I thought maybe you guys had priors or whatever the situation is, but if you don't know him at all.
No, I think probably he slid in my DM and I didn't respond. Maybe that's where the bitterness is. I don't know.
Come on!
his issues that he needs to deal with at the end of the day. So
I think a lot of people have a problem with his technique of journalism, but most of the time he does get to bottom of stuff. So when
the ZimEye man.
The ZimEye man, yeah.
Right.
He's ruffled a lot of people's feathers. But, so yeah, okay. So if you're saying none of...
But when it comes to me, he has not ruffled any feathers. He's a non-entity as far as I'm concerned.
Right. Okay.
Honestly speaking, he doesn't put food on my table. He does not take away food from my table. It's just that he's just a nasty little piece of work as far as I am concerned, because he's got a habit of trying to bull people. Quite a few of the issues where when there was a lot of, 2017, he kept on pushing me to come onto his show to do interviews.
So you guys have
No.
talked?
Yes, we have talked.
All
And
right.
when I said no to him, the coin just flipped.
Absolutely.
And I was now the nasty person. I
course
was
it
now
did.
the villain. So he has had to build up this whole...
Drama. The
What?
drama behind the...
That man cannot go for 6 months without keeping my name out of his mouth. Literally, he should call me his employer. Because no, I am his employer because he's making money out of my name.
Oh.
So he needs to put some respect to it as far as I am concerned. Because if he didn't put my name into the mix with ZimEye, he wouldn't have anything to sell.
You could have a crush. I think Nida.
That's between him and his sisters. That's got nothing to do with me.
Okay, so just walk me through this. So if
Yeah.
I wanted to go to the UK and I wanted to go work there,
Yeah.
what's the procedure? How does it work?
I always encourage people to follow the process. It's very important because we like doing things the right way. Because we want to have our sponsor license for a very, very long time than having it taken off us.
Of course.
So what is required is staff need to have been trained in health and social care. They can go to places like Red Cross and all of that. I've partnered with Red Cross before,
All right.
but we also have our own in-house training that we now deliver. So they can come to Gain Healthcare and take that training as well. They also need to do their TB test, which is a requirement for anyone that goes to England. They have to have a TB test. They have to have a police clearance, and they have to do their English test as well to show that they're competent in speaking and writing and listening in English.
All right.
Yeah, so that's all that is required. Once they do that, we go through the whole interview process and do the sponsor license. They apply for their visa, they get a 5-year work permit, and after 5 years, they can apply for an indefinite leave to remain. And after that other year, as long as they've not committed any crimes in England, they can even get a British passport.
Okay, so how does a person reach out to Gain Healthcare?
Gain Healthcare's website, call the office. We've got consultants that are there.
All right.
9 to 5. We've got offices here in Harare.
Where in Harare?
Bank ABC, 7th floor. We had an office in Borodale, but people complained that it was too far, so we shut that down.
Okay.
We've got offices by Nelson Mandela Square in South Africa, and very soon we will be looking to open a caregivers division in South Africa, where we can actually employ people locally and they can stay in South Africa if they wanted to. And then we're also looking to move to Australia and the United States.
Well done.
Amazing
Girl, you got your stuff
Amazing
together.
stuff. All right,
No,
all right.
no,
Listening to you, I mean, you are bullets.
No, thank you.
Was your background difficult?
No. No.
She went
So-
to-
so you want to maintain?
She went to Eagles Vale and
No, I didn't. See,
Where did you go?
Thank God, at least your sources are not that
Where did you
right.
go?
No, he's
Oh, yeah,
confusing me with somebody else.
Oh.
Where?
My bad.
He's confusing me with somebody else.
Okay.
My bad. I'll tell you. I've known Olinda for a very long time. I think since the 90s.
Over 20
But you don't know where she
96
went to
or
school
whatever.
at all.
He doesn't. He just remembers the pretty face. That's what he
Can I
remembers.
He actually posted a picture of you, which is...
When
I think
was that?
I think it was Lodza who posted a picture of you. I don't know how... Lodza, how old was she?
Oh, yeah, that one. Yes.
You know, my skin still looked flawless
Yes.
and I looked innocent and all that. I know.
Olinda used to go out with my young brother way back in the day.
I do not know what you're talking about.
Way back.
She
It doesn't matter.
doesn't
No,
know.
she was a lighty then. She was in high school. It
That
a
was
long
my
time
first
ago.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
Okay, your first ever boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Marvin,
and
aka
he
Benz.
broke my heart.
DJ Benz.
He broke my heart like really.
Girl, don't talk about broken hearts, because...
But rest in peace to Marvin. He was a nice guy. He was a very
Yeah.
nice guy.
So you guys have known each other for a long
Over
time.
20 years now.
Yeah, these guys are almost like family. So yeah.
Well, listen. You guys have maintained a friendship for a long time. It's beautiful. This is not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Tell us about you. You have a few awards under your belt. I know you got the
Yeah.
Zimbabwe Achievers Award.
Yeah, the
you just-
ZimEye Achievers, that was the community champion, obviously, for the charity work that we've been doing. We have been so active since the first lockdown. I was one of the first people that highlighted, like, part of my job is putting out fires and being able to see when a disaster is coming, especially within the company and everything that I do. So when Wuhan was happening, I did say, this is a lockdown. Now it's spreading to all over the country. You need to be prepared. Like, if we have to go into lockdown, do you guys have you secured your jobs? Those, like market traders, have you put your stuff online? Have you done this? So I used to do a lot of business Monday motivational Facebook lives, encouraging people to take things into a different direction altogether. But when things really got bad and the lockdown happened, we started paying a lot of rentals for people in South Africa. Electricity, food, medication. People got stranded in places like Turkey, and they didn't have their medication. We're sending medication over there because the minute you tell them about your status in Turkey, they deport you and whatnot. So it was a lot that was happening. There's a lot of messages that were coming into our inboxes, and then we started feeding all the homeless kids. The street kids here in Zimbabwe, and we've been feeding 100 homeless kids every week, every day,
every week since
7 days a week,
Wow.
since 2019, towards the end of 2019 till to date.
So you're giving me just so much information. How do people get in contact with you? Because you've talked about people in Turkey.
Yeah,
you talked about the homeless people. Like,
it's my DMs.
Oh,
like
okay. So that's how you.
And one thing that I really struggle with is I wish I could reply to everybody, but I can only reply to the ones that I get to. Like when I've got a moment, I open my phone and I go through their messages. We've got a team of 7 solicitors or lawyers, you call them in Zimbabwe, lawyers that that literally work for OCF and wait to. Their job is to advocate for anybody that needs legal help or legal aid. Let's say, for example, we had the whole Marange child marriage issue. We were now looking at taking civil action if the criminal action was not being pursued.
Got you.
So we literally have 7 lawyers, junior lawyers that are there that work for OCF, that advocate for anyone that's got mental health needs, that needs legal representation, people that have been involved in economical crime. What I refer to economical crime is people that have gone into shop and shoplifted baby diapers or baby milk because they really need to feed their child. Yeah. And then they get caught. People are going to prison for a very long time for stuff like that. So I'm currently in my 2nd year. I decided to do a whole degree to become a lawyer so that I can utilize that and advocate for as many people as I can on top of what I already do. So I'm in my 2nd year, and next year will be my final year, and I'm done. Then I move on to the next stage. And what we advocate for in the legal division of it is alternative dispute resolution.
Okay.
So with ADR, it's basically saying, okay, they have committed a crime, but how can we resolve this dispute without them having to go to prison?
Right.
Do you want us to pay some form of compensation to the aggrieved person? OCF will make that payment. Can they do community service instead? Is there certain things that the judge can allow to rehabilitate that person, which is within the law, than having to send them to prison? So it's trying to keep young mothers, which are the most people that get into these petty crimes because they need to feed their kids and all of that, out of prison. Because once they go into prison, some are even going to prison with their children, and it's not a place to be raising kids.
So Olinda, just a minor thing here. You keep saying OCF. So for the people that don't know what OCF is,
The Olinda Chapel Foundation.
Okay, there you go, girl. So there's OCF, which is that.
Yeah,
and then
that's
you
the
said
philanthropy work.
All right, and then you said ADR, which is
that's what we call the legal department within OCF.
Okay.
Which is an alternative dispute resolution team.
Okay.
Where they advocate to find a resolution or something alternative to prison, if somebody has committed a petty crime like that.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. And this is stuff that you're all advocating for in the UK.
In the UK, but it's mostly to do with Zimbabwe. I don't do any philanthropy work in UK. They don't need it. They've got enough of that.
Got you.
I think home is, I grew up in Zimbabwe. Mm-hmm. Zimbabwe is my home. I don't have family here, but I still make the trip to come down to make sure that I do these things because I really do, like I said, want to be a service to my community. Absolutely. And to make serious changes.
Absolutely.
I've dealt with the worst. I have watched children die from Kwashiorkor when my team was on their way to give them money for food. I've buried a mother and a child, like a teenager at the age of 15, who gave birth. The child died. I had the privilege of naming that child Anashe. And 24 hours later, the mom died. And then now, instead of all these plans that we had to put her back into college, into school and take her to college and all of that, we're now paying for a funeral service. So there are times when my mental health really does get affected because I feel so powerless.
Absolutely.
When you are trying to be the superwoman and you're trying to help as many as you can, and then somebody dies. We've supported people that have got AIDS, go into, some institutions to get help. Some have been bisexual all their life, or most of their life, but could not come out and talk about it. Then they contracted HIV, then it became AIDS, and they can't even talk about it, and things like that. And the next thing you know, the moment you give them some comfort, they're being looked after, we're paying for these nurse aides in this institution, they die. I cry. I literally sit in my office, I break down, and I cry.
Of course you do.
And that is the other 23 hours that I was saying that people do not get to see of the work that we're actually doing in the community and how we're trying to give so much hope and help. So when you guys see me coming onto social media and I'm throwing shade and I'm having a go at people like Shadaya and whatnot, it's just me venting.
Thank you so much for talking about Shadaya. Thank you so much for talking about Shadaya, girl.
Because everybody wants a little bit of a kiki moment,
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's all it is.
You're human after all.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, listen.
But you need to highlight a lot of the stuff more. And this is a very nice Olinda.
But I think people don't want, this Olinda is interesting.
The minute you start highlighting it, Denford, it's clout chasing. I'm not a clout chaser.
Do you think so?
No, it's clout chasing because you get people saying, "Oh, what the right hand has done, don't let the left hand." I'm so over that.
So you read the comments?
Yes, I do, and I block people.
Do you actually go on your Facebook and block people?
My blocked. I think I've got about at least 30,000 people blocked on my Facebook.
30,000.
It's
How many
a whole
people follow
community.
you? Wait. Are you a Facebook person or Instagram person?
Both.
Okay.
I've got 170,000 Instagram followers and almost 200,000 Facebook followers. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm not about that. I'm not bothered. If I see you throwing shade on somebody else's picture, I will block you.
So you've blocked people 30,000 times.
I will go to Nash TV and you're busy making a comment thinking Olinda will not see it. I will block you at Nash TV's page. Then you'll be wondering, why did she block me? And you're not even...
How does Olinda's mental health support that? I cannot read the comments.
Do you know why?
I cannot read the comments.
Yeah.
I cannot. I literally...
Because you're not a strong person.
Girl, I'm trying.
Listen.
I'm trying so hard. It's so hard. Do you know, there's a...
The people that write nasty comments, if you were to look at their profiles, are people that are probably in some dingy little place that get data once a month, come onto social media, run their mouth, say what. I have not. I have not seen one successful person in life write a nasty comment about somebody else.
I was on YouTube the other day, right? And then this guy wrote this comment that I thought was completely crazy, right? I screenshotted it and I had every intention to want to post it on social media. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, don't be petty. But I'm the pettiest person you've ever met, right?
True that.
I'm the most, I am so immature. I was at one, but then I was like, you know what, Ranji, be the bigger person, do this. So now that you're telling me that you block people,
I just
block people. Blast personal.
But there's the other crazy side of Olinda. There's Olinda, this that you see.
All right.
Then there's Keda. You don't want to deal with Keda.
All right.
Keda is a different persona altogether.
All right.
Is Keda cray?
Crazy.
She got the cray.
That bitch is crazy. She's my French.
If
I've got time, I will respond to that person.
White Abbas.
Have you seen
White
some of my club bags?
White Abbas
Olinda.
And yeah, White Abbas.
You see what you're doing, Olinda? You're motivating Ranji to be a problem.
Because it's these boys read the comments. Mm-hmm. They'll be like, Rongano, have you read the comments? No. Why? I don't want to deal with it. right?
Okay.
I'm not going through each and every single person reading the negative shit they got to say.
But what about the positive stuff? You also miss out on
Yeah,
it. There's
yeah,
quite a bit-
ziva kuti pane nice positive. You know what? Pane vanhu very nice, but then there's those people vasina kana anything.
No, it's more about, people thinking they've got a right to just come and make nasty comments on your post. That sense of entitlement just needs to stop. My page, my rules. If you don't want to be on it, just unfollow me.
Maya.
Do you get what I mean? Why are you following somebody that you clearly do not like? The same way you clicked follow is the same way you are going to go and click unfollow. Simple and straightforward.
I like it.
Like, listen, we're not in high school. We're not playing games. Like, some people just leave for writing such nasty comments. So when I've got time, sometimes, a bully needs a bigger bully. And that's when kid shows up.
So, I know Dilana, Shadaya, and the kid.
The kid.
All right. Okay.
Because Shadaya knows Unyanya.
Yeah.
Shadaya, Shadaya does not, and I said this to the boys the other day. Shadaya does not like plus size women, right? I went through Shadaya's entire page.
How can he like plus size women? How will he lift them up as skinny as he is?
No, but I think Shadaya not gonna send.
No, let's not talk about the money. Ooh. How can he handle a BBW?
No, but most BBWs, right, are with these skinny tall men.
But he's not skinny tall. Kawiza. It's a difference.
I was like, I started like this and I stopped like this.
There is a tall, dark, handsome man that still is skinny, but can handle a woman. Shadaya, he can't even handle his own womanism, let alone handle somebody else's woman.
Does Shadaya have a woman?
I think he's got some shenane in him that he's really trying to suppress. That's why.
How did that whole beef start with that?
No, Shadaya has been for the longest time trolling women on social media. That boy has got serious mommy issues, or I don't know who broke his heart, or whether he wants to be a woman. Because I really think, at some point I put him in lipstick. I don't know if you saw that. I put blush on him and put him in lipstick.
Time, I guess.
Is this what
time?
Yeah. I was like, is this what you're really fighting for? Come on, we'll welcome you to the women community.
Come through.
We'll support you if that's what you want. But he's got serious issues because all his posts about women this, women that, independent women. The other day his post was about, hey, if you see your girlfriend wanting to run kitty with these Niger boys, and if they were excited kitty. This weekend, then she's not the one for you. I was like, that's broke.
Oh, so you follow business. Shadaya?
No, I see them on my timeline.
Okay.
And now I've made it a point, because before I used to ignore him, right. But now I've made it a point to give him as the same medicine that he likes to serve everybody. The reason, because a lot of people tolerate his comments.
Absolutely.
And a lot of men follow his comments. And I ended up saying it's only men with very small that support Shadaya. Real men. No, there's no real man. No, there's no real man that will support that nonsense. He's got serious issues and he needs therapy. I know that 12 months, listen to this, 12 months of kweshkwa mudzimune mashave kumaprofita. That's what that boy needs.
At least urumpa time. Urumpa time. Urutoziva kuti munhu wacho kane ma issues ake.
6 months aidere.
No, I was 6 aiteka.
12 months.
Urumpa time. Good
you know
timeline.
kumasoweka mapostori. Ordinary people vanokweshkwa mudzimune mashave 3 weeks. Chit. Shadaya needs a whole 12 months. Achimbirwa mudzimune mashave to take out the demons that he's clearly fighting.
Akambo kupindira DM here kana kuti
where would he even stand the chance of doing that?
Shadaya Wacho is like, I think there's something about Shadaya that I find, okay, as women, right? We get it.
He's a woman stuck in a man's body.
Ooh.
And listen, this is 2021. We do not discriminate. We've got so many transgenders in our community. Come through, sis. We will get your hair laced. I will even get him my makeup artist. You get what I mean?
Of course.
We will do if he needs to go to Turkey to put a little bit of, BBL on that backside, we will support him to do it.
I like it if you love it, girl.
Shadaya, you can get in touch with us and we
will sponsor it all.
Olinda,
come out.
So
we don't judge.
Come through. We embrace.
Because I really don't understand how a person that was born by a woman and carried by his mother is there. How does he? How does he say hi to a woman? Does he even have a girlfriend?
Maybe any boyfriend. No. Of which I got a problem.
It's fine.
Can I know your boyfriend is still okay?
But I don't know.
Right.
Shadaya is a whole case, and
Denver's like right.
Okay,
Denver's like right.
listen,
Sure.
we will need a whole other day with with a few professionals. I'm a qualified assessor with mental health issues, so I'm more than happy. Under Gain Healthcare, I'm more than happy to support him with any mental health issues that he's got. If he wants to come and talk about it, doors are always open. I'm being serious. He really has some built-up inner issues that he needs to deal with.
Shadaya Gain Healthcare wants to give you a shrink.
For free healthcare.
Okay. Many people really honestly started knowing you when you were married to Stana. I think that's like
5 years ago.
Yeah. You had what many believed.
Not married to him.
When you started dating him, I guess. Yeah.
No, people didn't know me that much. It's the day I pressed live and Keda came out.
Right. Okay, all right. You had what many believed to be a good marriage. What went wrong?
Okay, well, she said no, not marriage.
No, they were married.
No, we were married.
So now I'm at the marriage stage. What went wrong with that marriage?
I think for me, what made me quite upset, it's not somebody wanting to move on with somebody else. That's natural. I would prefer somebody coming to sit in front of me and say, listen, Olinda, I am no longer in love with you. I am in love with somebody else. That's respectful.
But we don't. But as men, we don't.
I'm a woman. No, but you know what? As men, you might not
I could do that.
But everything she's saying is, you know what? Be man enough. The way we found each other is the same way you must tell me, Kuti, you know what? I squeeze anymore.
Don't forget, I'm half white. So the white side of me comes up when you're having this type of conversation. I understand that. You know why people tell each other, I don't love you anymore. They're like, I'm sorry for whatever I did not do.
No, we just bounce.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
But now...
No,
come on. No. You
so
cannot
much easier,
just...
though.
Why? Because you don't want to have that conversation.
What's wrong with
because
you?
you're going to cry.
No, but what is wrong with you? Why
take me to a public place? Tell me in a public place where I don't...
I even go public place only to touch him.
But you know what? The thing is, I never got the message. I never got the text message.
Right.
I didn't live in Zimbabwe. He could have waited for me to go back to England and tell me over the phone. Then I've got no reason to come back. Right. So the worst thing is there was that bit of disrespect that was there, whereby,
100%.
And then to find out some of the stuff that was happening, when you are away and you are working hard and trying to support your family and doing all these things. I really don't want to get into it because it just brings up a lot of things because we're both in a good place now.
Absolutely.
And, good place to each other.
Absolutely.
So I do not want to drag all of that up because there will be now a lot of back and forth, but no, that's not true, but this and that. I don't want to do that. It is just that I would have really, really loved for somebody to just tell me that they didn't want to be with me anymore.
Very much.
And they keep stepping. And I move on. Like Wi-Fi.
Olinda, I have to just chime in before, because he doesn't get this, but I will tell you that when you were going through what you were going through, at that particular time, it was hard. You never understand what a person's going through until you've been through it yourself, right? We're all women.
Yeah.
I 100% support you.
Yeah.
Right?
But don't go live.
No.
That was, look at the disaster that I then created. 5 years later, people are now having sex on live. Don't go live. That was. But
I will tell you that you fight, and women will understand this everywhere around the world.
There's a lot of women that understood that because there's a lot of inboxes that were coming in.
Absolutely.
Women that were saying, "Listen, I'm stuck in this and I can't even walk away like you've done." But I guess the reason why I became so emotional is also because I was lashing out. I just recently lost my mom. And I was still dealing with that. And then having to deal with this, like, dude, can you not understand what I'm currently going through? I've lost my only other parent that I had. My dad passed away when I was 9, and now I'm losing my mom. It's sad, especially in him knowing the battle that I fought to keep my mom alive for as long as possible. And then to do this, at least give me grieving period before you give me drama. Let me heal before opening another wound. So that really sucked because what I expected from him was that friendship would come first, that we were actually friends before being husband and wife. And as my friend, you would understand that you don't do stuff like that.
Thank you, Olinda.
There are men that cheat. And men that cheat, like our fathers used to do. Ukangona mkadzi wangu apinda msaluni mauri momo. Kana ungori pakati pekuswa dark and lovely kana PM, you walk out. Better uche msoro wako than be in the same environment as my wife. If you see my wife on the same street as you, you cross the road. This is what they used to tell their girlfriends. So there was a lot of times whereby they would have their side chicks, but you'd never know about them. They would even have a whole family and only find out this dude had a family the day he died. Right. Because there was that respect towards the wife. I felt so disrespected because a lot of things was happening in my home whilst I was away. So that made me very angry. And who wouldn't be angry? Man or woman. Everybody would be angry. But it is what it is.
I want you to know that I'm feeling everything that you said. Girl, I'm here for it. I'm here for everything that you got. And I know Denford.
Yeah.
Yo.
No comment. He seems guilty of something.
No comment, yeah.
No. What I wanted to find out was, okay, infidelity clearly broke up this union, right?
Disrespect broke up the union.
Thank you.
Not so much the infidelity.
No.
The disrespect.
That was the disrespect.
So if the dude had gone to a lodge or hotel, the relationship would still be here?
Absolutely.
No.
Well,
if the guy had...
how much? No.
If the guy had come and sincerely apologized. Because prior to that, how I found out some of this stuff, I was told, it started off with a phone, right?
It always starts with a phone.
Not me going through his phone.
Are you saying going through? Are you saying?
No, I didn't go through his phone. I had bought him 2 mobile phones. There was, I think it was an S9 Plus and an S9.
Nice.
He had 2 phones.
Okay.
This guy then said, let me tell you, said that he kept his phone switched off for 24 hours. When I finally got...
Both my 2 S9.
Following day, babe, where were you? I was trying to call you since last night. I got mugged. Oh, I'm actually on the way to the police station. I'm going to report this.
That's a good one.
So which phone got stolen? Oh, it's this phone, but the other one, I'd left it at home. Oh, okay, that's cool. The day of the drama, I found out that never happened. That phone...
You were overseas?
I was in Zimbabwe.
Okay, right. Okay.
Somebody close to him said, that phone was given to this person. Go onto his laptop, onto his Google Drive, search for that phone, you will find its location.
The phone was given away. The phone that you bought.
To the side chick.
That you bought.
Yeah.
Yo.
That you purchased.
Yeah.
He gave it away.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Okay, I get it.
Oh. Okay.
So this is the drama that it started.
So if this phone had been given to his homie, it would be cool, right? I'm just
the
trying
whole getting mugged issue, and I'm still going to be in trouble for this interview, but yeah, so this is where it started.
Right.
So obviously, me being me, there's a lot of phone calls. Where are you? Is this true? Who is Ningi?
But Olinda, phone ikatapa mkomana. Why are we trying this phone, though?
Denford, that's all you got from this conversation. That's all you got.
I represent a constituency.
No,
I represent men.
This is why Zimbabwean men are in trouble. They've got Shadaya and Denford representing them in the men's association.
Shadaya, auto supporting team.
Gaya papa ndikasataura anything when I was contribute.
But I was kupera power kuti
andikupera but ndikurakidze ndikupera
akatadza kunotengesa phone rotenga imwe zvake
ko atengerwa phone not one phone two my phone
but you ndore problem ukati ba two my phone ikatopa
awa murume wake ka ndikukuda
aiwa but
one day basa one day personal kana chida kudzima mafone mafanziwo I still need to get hold of him. This was the story, but so there was a lot of back and forth that day with on the phone uri kupi. Who is this person? Is this why this has been happening? This and that and that.
You went overseas. You were all.
I was at my house in Greendale.
This is the one S9. S9.
That is the day I went live, and this guy had gone out.
No first time babraketa.
Then I asked him, who is this person? Now I was when I get angry, I cry. My anger and my tears come at the same time.
Cheers. Can we have a shot?
Which is
that's me, girl.
Can I take a break?
So there was a lot.
When you get angry, you cry. I am with you.
I'm angry and I'm crying and I'm shouting like there's no tomorrow.
Yes.
Like, dude, come back. We are
So you're on the phone with him. On the phone with him.
Right? If he had come back in that moment, this issue would have been resolved between the two of us.
Okay.
Ndakatora broom, whatever women do. I couldn't have slashed the tires. The car was mine. So.
Olinda. Olinda. Come on.
I wasn't going to damage my stuff. So it was about him and coming to face the music, come and talk to me, explain to me what is going on. Then there was an ex. I will not mention names, but you know the ex was coming to my house. Like now I was getting information from the neighbor because we lived in a what do you call this? Cluster homes. Mm-hmm. So my neighbor would see everything that was happening. His friends started telling me like, listen, you're such an amazing person. You take care of all of us and you don't even have to. But this
all of us.
Because he lived with us.
All right, okay.
He lived in the house.
I get what you're saying. But what type of a friend does that though? Like
no, but
no, I'm not
a friend that knows which side of his,
I'm not going to defend the crime.
A friend that knows which side of his bread is buttered. A friend that knows who the breadwinner is.
Who's his friend? Can we call him out?
I have okay, and I love where we're going. And I so yes.
So
I want one question. I have one question to ask. Just one question.
Okay.
Girl, you're doing a lot of giving.
That's just me. My mom was like that. It's something that I learned from my mom. And have you noticed I'm never lacking though? Because God is a God of balance.
Okay. Olinda, I like what you said. I like it. It sounds great right now. But in my head, right? You've done so much. Udamun wako, right? Unemun wako. Other transportation.
At some point, we had 3 cars, an Audi, a Mercedes, and a limited edition Lexus IS2F.
Nice.
So you see what I like about you? When we love, right? I'm a lover. And
Dolce & Gabbana's, Gucci's, Versace's, 30 billion for your account, the whole enchilada. But money does not buy love at the end of the day. And that's one thing that I learned.
Real talk.
That is one thing that I learned. Right, it's me first and everything else after. And unfortunately, I felt like at some point my husband has kind of, the first few years of our marriage or relationship,
your husband,
my husband.
Okay,
and chat husband. Yeah, it was just I don't know, but I felt like at some point I became a very different person. I was no longer that giving. I was no longer willing to be taken advantage of, even by friends, by family, and I became very closed up. Like, listen, we're not doing this anymore. I've done this so many times, and people are very hurtful because it was not necessary to put me through so much pain. So back to what happened that day. The guy refused to come home to talk about it. You don't want us to talk about it, we shall talk about it. I'm going to find people to talk about this to and have the conversation with and let people know exactly what you're doing, because at some point it had become the whole driving nice cars, and people didn't know much about me at that point. Nobody even knew that I was, doing all of these things, I was like, you know what? I'm going to show people who you really are.
Did you want people to know?
I wanted I wanted them to know so that he comes down a peg or two, because he had become too egotistic. He had become too narcissistic. He had become too over his head. So if I put you on a pedestal, I'll definitely take you down off it.
So you are agreeing that wakamisa pa level?
I think to a certain degree I did upgrade him.
Okay.
That is a fact. Listen.
Fact.
I mean, but you have the capacity.
Whether his pride and his ego does not agree, but that definitely did happen.
Finances agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on the 3rd of April 2016.
You do know that I flew in, what's his name? Lloyd, what's his name? No, not...
the Raga guy?
The Jamaican guy. Yeah. All the way from Jamaica to come and perform at his album launch.
Nice.
You know why you did that? Because you're kind.
Because I'm a wife.
You're loyal.
I support my husband.
You appreciate him.
I want my husband to succeed, because if he succeeds, that means I succeed.
That's it right there.
I don't know. But you know what? At the end of the day, that's when it all went live, and there was a lot of back and forth. And he eventually came home, tried to talk about it, tried to calm me down. But when I confronted him about a number of things, for example, the phone came back the very next day. I was like, you better call that girl up and get my phone back because I am going to go get it myself.
Recovered.
The stories that I had been told was this girl was just a girl from the streets. She was a nobody, and that he wanted to make our marriage work and whatnot. Now, this is where things got fucked up. Dakwira Ndega, I went back to England. I decided to my battery died and that phone was in my handbag. They had wiped the phone clean, like the settings. For some reason, when I put my SIM card in there, it backed up everything.
Yo.
I was literally controlling this girl's WhatsApp.
Yo.
Ndikaona my messages about a lot of things. I had receipts for days. Koto home say Friday, makauza na midnight kissing. Muswe Tuesday, makauza na good morning. And you were talking about this, and then there's a lot of stuff that was there. And this is somebody that I'm being told is just somebody from the streets. But this person was literally living in my house. This person was literally sleeping in my Egyptian cotton.
Pardon? Yeah, that one is difficult to defend.
Guys.
I'm sorry, guys. This one is difficult to defend.
So what? Tell me what woman would not go crazy. But
standard.
Guess what I then did?
Tell me, girl.
I did not confront the guy on my phone. I called him from that number.
Yeah.
He's like, hi, babe. I was like, you okay? He stopped. God, yes, it's me.
You stopped?
He was now stopped breathing for a moment. He was now confused
Olinda,
as to...
This is the most
Are they
story.
together? I was like, I've got all the messages. Messages to do with her, what she was getting up to that behind his back. It was a whole mess, like...
But you are a prayerful woman, girl, because God only shows up in situations like that. Woo! You got all the tea.
But guess what? It was hurtful.
Of course it was.
It was heartbreaking and painful because
100%.
reading those messages really showed me that everything had been fake between us.
Fake. From the beginning.
It was like a marriage of convenience.
The girl told me out of her own mouth that the day Akanorora Kumbakwedu, he passed through her house.
Oh.
And had sex with her before he came to Zorora Kumbakwedu.
And Olinda you know what? You don't affect her mental health issue. Do you know, I'm big on mental health, and this is the type of stuff that messes with your mental health. This is why you then had the legendary, you know, Towers said he had legendary crying.
Towers.
Guys, but at some point, guess why I was now crying? So I'm a numbers person. From day one. Takaenda to China. Staying in a presidential suite, to go into shopping, to go into Jakarta. I started calculating all the money I spent in that relationship. I was now grieving my money, not him, because clearly this was messed up. This was seriously messed up. There was no coming back from it. There was no way we could ever fix anything. You understand? There was stories to do with abortions, to do with messages, to do I really don't want to get into it, but it was so messed up.
All right. Let me
imagine you guys are having to drink because I'm telling you the story now. Imagine me, the person that was going through it.
Yeah.
And the day that I found those messages is the day that I bought a ticket. That same night, I was on Virgin Atlantic, and I left the house.
That was it?
I was like, you guys want to be together? You can sleep on the floor together. And I left. But they've built their life. They're still together. They've got a family. Whatever is there is there. I don't even want to see those two break up. If there's problems in that relationship, they need to make it work. Because they costed me a lot. They should stick it out.
You know, Olinda, my face is like, you know what? I've done this. I as a woman, I got goosebumps. You are stronger.
Me too.
You are stronger than me. Why?
Well,
I would literally.
a point where strong is the only option. That's where I got to.
Legendary. My girl, legendary crying. But in my but on a serious note, I think a lot of women have gone through what you've gone through.
The only difference is mine has been public,
and you have since then. The one thing that I will say about you, I think I can certainly identify with a lot of things that you've gone through. As a woman, it's fucked up. You really like a person, you go out of your way, you're doing everything that you must do for the person. If I have the capacity to do it, I'm going to do it. Why? Because I love you.
And when you're in a relationship, it's like an institution. You're supposed to be supporting each other.
100%.
For example, with my husband, he's very, very, he is very supportive of everything that I do. Before I even came to this interview, Lloyd was on the phone with him. My husband wanted to know what you guys want to talk about because he's protective of me. He wants to make sure that I'm not putting myself in a bad position and anything that I'm doing is in my best interest. Right. So there comes a time whereby I then count, like Denford said earlier on, we look at the bad, but let's look at the pros that came from it, right? I've got a beautiful daughter. That wouldn't have happened if I'd stayed.
Gorge.
She is just to die for.
Bullet.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm in an amazing relationship with my husband, even though despite we've gone through some stuff. We're getting remarried. He reproposed last year, bought me new rings and all of that. We're having a whole big wedding, like we're properly going out, all out. And I think you saw the thing
better
about,
than
Anzi, Olinda needs to bring Bena Boy. And I'm currently looking for Bena Boy money. I might be joining DJ Towers very soon too for me to raise, Bena Boy money. But yeah, it's the positives to it. Maybe it was not meant to be. Sometimes we force ourselves to be in a position or in a place that is not meant to be ours. And God is trying to say, listen, get out.
Nice.
But you're no.
But you know what, Olinda, I'm glad that you said that. Why? Because I think we've all been in that situation where, you really like somebody.
Yeah.
Right? And in your head, I was having this conversation with a friend of mine, and you've got these memories. The friend is in the background. You have these memories, right? That you've built up as everything.
Yeah.
Right? It's a fairy tale. This is my person. Why? We talked about fairies. Right? So you've... The one thing I commend is that you were able to pack up whatever little pieces were left and move. And in that moving, you have been lucky enough to find a partnership, of which even that partnership was rocky.
But let me tell you something. I am such a lover as far as I'm concerned. I believe in love so much. I don't know if love loves me, but, I believe in love so much. And I've said this. I was having a conversation with my cousins yesterday. They were talking about the wedding and, everything that's coming up. I was like, yeah, Bamni better be, on his best behavior and he's treating me right between now and this wedding. Because, listen, this wedding is going ahead in July, whether he's the groom or not. So as far as I am concerned, do you get what I mean? As far as I'm concerned, I will always try with love. I will always try it with anybody until the right person comes along. Listen, if they don't come along, I'm not going to spend the rest of my life alone just because somebody else messed me up.
So you're saying, make all the Tinashe, if you are there, you're saying, make all the effort that you can until you just can't anymore.
That's it. Okay. That's absolutely it. And during the time that my husband and I were in separation, I discovered quite a lot about myself. There's this new woman that just popped up, and I used to refer to her as Mrs. Bezos. One day I just woke up, I was like, you know what? Nango fito tamkazi wa billionaire, so she wants Mrs. Bezos. And it started from there. Mrs. Bezos became this alter ego. I became so confident of myself. I went and I bought myself a Range Rover, expanded the company, started working on me. Do you get what I mean? Fixing me, taking care of me. You understand? Then being this person urukumba, and you are just, not even having a shower in your pajamas all day, every day. Nobody wants to be with that person. No. Right? Good attracts good. Attractive attracts attractive. And that's it. So I started fixing me. I would wake up every day, put on my makeup. I would look when I was a Snapchat when I was a filter wait I say looking like
Total.
the business.
Total.
I started buying more stuff for myself, making sure I'm looking right. I take pictures, I post pictures. I'm in a good space. I'm not even trying to be with anybody. I started working on my mental health, and I made a decision that anything that's not good for me, I'm not going to allow it up there. Right. I only allow the good stuff. I don't want the bad stuff. This is why I laugh off, even when people troll me sometimes. Do not just say, can you tell my jokes? No, I go back and I clap back and I keep it moving. It's about your mental health and what you keep up there. And guess what? By doing that, my business expanded way more than it has ever done.
Nice.
I became a 7-figure earner just by doing it. Fixing me, making sure I was in a good space. At some point, I was on antidepressants, speaking with a therapist and this, but I just got to a stage like, listen, I'm not doing this anymore. I remember one day I walked into my therapist's office and I did not say a word. I just cried for 1 hour. And that was me. That was the day that woman died.
That was legendary.
No, was legendary in private. In private. But I think every woman listening to this can...
And I think that person is like, my husband, wherever he was like, whoa, who's this woman?
Oh, wait, was this in your new relationship?
Yeah, when we were on separation, okay. Titan and I.
Okay.
That's when I started fixing me, taking care of me, doing all of these things, upgrading my house, buying a new car, upgrading offices, employing more people, really expanding who Olinda is with or without somebody. And I think that's when my husband was like, hey, baby. There she is. Like, you could see a totally different side of me.
You're thriving.
And you've got this glow that you don't get from a packet or from anything or from a man. This glow that is just coming from you.
But what made you... Because, okay...
I decided to be happy.
So but is there something... Because you're in this doomsday situation, right? And you're crying and you're upset and you're feeling, woe is me. Was there something just...
There were people around me that reminded me of who I was. And I remember, for example, Auntie Jenny, who's like a big sister to me. She says to me, do you know who the fuck you are? She swears a lot. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you're Olinda motherfucking Chapel. Get it together. Allah. So sometimes you have to be reminded. You have to be reminded of the boss that you are.
Straight.
So if you want to be a boss, start acting like a boss, start talking like a boss, start walking like a boss, and be a boss.
That's it. Straight.
So I was reminded of stuff like that. I had people reminding me all the time that, listen, do you know how many women look up to you? Do you know how many people actually want to be you? You've got so much going on for you, but so why do you keep looking down on yourself? And I had to realize that when things went wrong with him or with anybody else or the other stuff that has happened in my life, I had to take responsibility.
Was it a you thing?
It's a me thing. Do you know why? You allow people to treat you like that. You allow people to we're ignorant. We know some of these things. We see the red flags. You see Munaripa Snapchat with little girls and you're thinking something is not right, but you don't do anything about it. You don't say, I do not want to be disrespected that way. So when you put boundaries and you demand your respect and they're not willing to give it to you, then the only thing that's left to do is to walk away. So
if you don't chime in, this is going to be a me and Olinda conversation.
You know what?
Because
Pilots, this is by far going to be our longest episode.
You might need a part 2 or part B because listen, we're still on 5 years ago.
I think
right, because we haven't even.
Don't tell me we don't have enough memory. These girls are going at it like.
Olinda, okay. I have so.
Why do I feel like I'm fixing some inner issues here? I'm giving you therapy to say, is there something you want to talk about?
I mean, you could. Why?
Run. Don't make this your life. Don't come out here now.
She's going to start issues anybody.
Who broke your heart, sis? Girl, so many people. But
okay. Guys, all right, okay. We spoke about Stunner, right? We still need to talk about Titan. So I'm going to ask you my last question. About Stunner, then we move because we got lots.
And let's put it on the record because people will think I'm the one that's obsessed with talking about him. You're
No.
You are the ones that are asking the questions here,
and I'm just. There's no way we're gonna.
Responding to
there's no way we're gonna bring Olinda Chapel and not talk about Stunner, Titan. Olinda Chapel Nkomo. Yes. So this is the last one.
Okay.
Many people. This is the last one. I got it written down. Let me look for
So
it.
you're busy doing your research and writing notes down.
Yes.
I
Yes.
see you.
Okay. On the 3rd of April 2016, you were married to Stan in a traditional ceremony.
Yeah.
The $16,000 that was paid.
He did not pay $16,000 to my family.
Because it is alleged that you provided this money, however amount, how
Please
much
provide
it was.
the evidence of that allegation.
No, it's just an allegation. You can just.
Well,
clear
I
it
can
up.
confirm that he never paid $16,000. Kumba kwedakato siya chikweleti.
Alright,
But
saka
ibi-
yakabhadharwa yacho ndiwakampera kuti abhadhare.
Mumfunza Stana, I plead the fifth. Right.
Okay. All right, okay.
Wakampa S99
All right.
plus imocha wakabhadhara
No, tomoita
kubati.
mix.
Kana vanhu muri murelationship yekuti munenge muchitisana zvinhu ka, you never know where the money is coming from. Maybe just a week ago I'd sent him money to go to the club with his boys. Maybe Mario yakabva yabata. I plead the fifth.
Yes. All right. Okay.
So I can't answer that question. But
Very diplomatic answer. Very diplomatic answer.
Well,
okay.
now that we have wrapped up, well, thank you very much for being open about that. That was nice to hear.
I really don't like talking about it, but
I
know people can. It's very hard for people to disassociate Olinda with that drama because that's where everybody started to know me from.
Of course.
But
plus Kedaga,
she was
we're still talking about Keda to this day.
From that.
Yeah.
Keda was birthed from that.
Keda's always been there, but she just doesn't show up. But sometimes you have to fight your own battles because I was now fighting quite a lot. I had a whole family coming after me as well. So yeah.
Well, Olinda, thank you very much for being open about
You're
that.
welcome.
I know it's not the most comfortable thing to talk about.
No.
But you did it with such grace.
Yeah.
So let's move on.
Okay.
I want to know about the wedding that you have planned.
Okay.
So can you give us a little bit of information on what you have planned? And this is all, I saw your post to Danielle about how you were like, wow.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Danielle and I are friends.
Okay.
I call her my Nandi.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, she did well for her wedding, and I know her white wedding is just gonna be OTT.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't compete with that, but I will still do things the Olinda Chapel way, and because when Titan and I initially got married in 2018, we kept it under wraps. People only found out after we'd actually got married. We didn't tell anybody that we're getting married. It was just some very close family. So we got it done in a garden with about 8 people. And
Before we talk about the wedding, where did you guys meet? Because I'd like to know that.
DM. My hey hi, I'm
goes
snapping
down
today.
in the
Facebook, Instagram.
Facebook Messenger, jayo my hey hi.
Oh. Patro my marriage, man.
Funny thing is, I slid into his DM.
Whoa, yo.
I wasn't there for that.
All right.
I wasn't there for that, but hey, Murumongo has got a telephone voice. Look at him today. You need to work for like a sex telephone company because that's where it all started.
Okay, so do you mind telling us?
And funny thing is, when our relationship started, we talked a lot, and
I'm sorry to cut you off, but Denford has now poured his drink into my glass.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay, mix and match. It's still alcohol, right?
Because
Still alcohol doesn't
we
matter.
usually just drink the same bottle. Today she's got her own.
I do have my own personal something, but okay, there you go.
All right.
Okay, but go ahead. So you slid into his DMs.
We started talking a lot on the phone. He started working on some projects for me, like they do brand designing and all of that. They were doing some stuff for OCF and Olinda Chapel Cosmetics. So we started talking on a regular basis.
Okay.
And, there was something there. He showed interest, and I was just like, not another musician from Zimbabwe.
Just in the business side, or you could feel that it was interesting you.
He's a very intellectual person, and I'm a sapiosexual. I like intelligence, and I don't know how I missed intelligence in the other part, but.
I gotta stay on standby with that shit.
That part that we left it behind.
Guys,
we said thank you one. We said thank you one. Nayolinda. Skillful.
So we had a lot of intellectual conversations, especially with me and business and how we could support it and all of that. So there's a lot of that was going on. So we would stay on the phone even for 4 hours.
4 hours.
4 hours.
Like, it's very easy with a guy that you like.
The longest we've ever been on the phone together is 12 hours.
But it's very...
What?
No,
what?
but it's easy.
What was that? 12 what?
12 hours.
But it's very easy with the guy that you like.
But then... I remember that wall I was talking about. I was now very protective of myself, and I was thinking, not another musician from Zimbabwe. I don't want to do this. I don't want this social media thing. I didn't even want funny, intelligent. That's my type.
Musician?
No.
You like instruments?
No. So guess what I did?
My guitar.
I actually had other guys ask me out, and I remember I went on a date, and this date was the night that the Fast and the Furious, was it 7 or something, was released. Right. And it was a midnight, a guy, Bentley driving guy, loaded guy.
Loads that we can break it down. We don't have too many Bentleys. We can break down to who that was.
Bentley. Oh, do you guys know? Do you guys actually know?
Jinimbe is not there anymore.
Do they know?
So not Zimbabwean based, UK based.
Oh, right.
Oh,
okay.
so
Zimbabwean but UK based.
Okay.
So you packed up to Ntwago.
And I move on. Now I'm testing the waters. I'm single.
Yeah, Olinda, watch out for the mic. We don't want to miss a thing.
So I remember I went out on a date, and I actually told Titan that I'm going out on a date, and I was trying to push him away.
Why?
And the guy's like, go and explore. I'll be here waiting.
My nigga.
But you know what? But you love somebody.
Let me tell you, I was trying to push him away. You know, I was smitten over him. He was, talking the talk. His voice sounded so great on the phone. So,
wait, you never met in person?
I met him once. On the 26th of December 2016, and also the Hip Hop Awards. Just once, this is Titan Akemba Mkoko and that, and hi, and just
met, never conversed.
No, just hi, and keep it moving, and that was it. But for us to meet on a one-to-one basis, face-to-face, that hadn't happened yet. So we were talking, and Avandenda could date Kwangu. It was a midnight show, Fast and the Furious. Guy, I was wearing my Giuseppe's. He's wearing his Giuseppe's. T-shirt, shoe cam on Snapchat and whatnot. Tapinda movie house mea. An hour later, I was just like, no, I want to go home. I wasn't feeling the guy.
I want to call Titan. I want to go home. I got to tell Titan that this isn't working.
I want to go home. And I had driven to where he was, the area that he was in. And I got in my car, and the first person I called, it was 3 a.m, was Titan.
And he picked up.
And he picked up. And
that's a beautiful love story, man.
And I was like,
I know love, girl. I know love.
So it wasn't about, the Bentleys. And I was thinking, I was skimming. Kuti munhu wewe achandoona ndine mfesa ne Bentley ane chi, I'll be looking good, me and my bae, because people are talking about you're buying love, you're doing this, you're doing that. So you're thinking, you know what, if I'm with somebody that is very financially out there, na boss guy, the big boys, people will stop this whole trolling. So this was the plan. Of course. Rolex, chi pipe. No, this is not for you. You don't go for men because they can provide. You're there because you want a person. And that's when I realized that I actually had feelings for Titan. And soon enough, me being
Wait, did he pick up?
He picked up, obviously.
Okay, all right.
For now. Hi,
babe. That was ZimEye.
And hi, babe. I was the movie. I was
like, about my babe.
He always called me babe from day one.
Okay.
I don't know why. And so next thing, I flew to Zimbabwe.
As Olinda does.
What?
As Olinda does.
Just for the dude?
I was under the pretense of a high tea. There was a high tea there. But that was not the case. That was a nice high tea. Yeah. I was not there for
sold
the
out
high
very
tea.
quickly. But
so when people didn't know that something was going on. So that's when we met, and that's when we made it official between the two of us. Nice. And whatnot. But we had a snitch in-house. Somebody was going to, who was a close friend to Titan, was now telling the ex everything.
In-house snitch, your side, his side?
His side. Titan's friend.
Do you know?
Because our intentions were... our intentions were we were going to keep our relationship very private.
Naturally.
And see where it goes. You know, up on the chin say, hey, you're lonely, you're with nobody, and if you only.
Oh wait, you're. This is from the other
people's comments. Since we are bitter, she's a bitter ex. She's got nobody to love her. What? Apa vasiruzia zvekuti ndikirara ndichimbirwa ini ndichakubata bo. There was a lot of that, but then there was still a lot of fights going on. You know, between me and the other camp.
Question, Olinda. Not to cut you off at all, but I need a time frame. So because now your life is thriving. Yeah. People are still trolling you, saying whatever they're saying, being so negative, which is affecting clearly your mental health. Why? Because you love this guy and you like this guy, and you want to proceed with this guy, but everybody keeps reminding you of before. So did you move on quickly? Did you take a lot of time?
No. I didn't. As far as I was concerned, I started dating him like 5 months after the breakup.
Jeez,
wasn't that soon?
How was that quick?
No, do you know why?
Somebody moved into my house whilst I was in my house. How is that moving quick?
Do you know why? Because as women, and you know this, we really don't even need to go into this. We hold on to that love for such a long time. I think maybe the reality of seeing her physically move into your space.
People were doing Instagram lives very in bathtub mango. What was I supposed to be holding on to? He quickly replaced the good memories with the bad memories. There was nothing, you know, I really hated that person for a very long time.
Why were you watching that?
Do you know how many tags you get? And curiosity, then you go and you try to see and whatnot. There was a lot of messed up things that was happening. You understand? Your favorite duvet that was left behind. There was the issue of the curtains. Don't act like you don't know the issue of the curtains. Well, that when people moved into the new house, they were still using my curtains.
Oh.
Nice. And then what?
Oh.
So now I was moving on with my life. Let's focus on that part, that I was now moving on with my life. And this person was not happy with me moving on with my life. Right? Because I remember before I even did anything with Titan, I went to the States. I was in America and I was having fun in America. And block up a Snapchat. Next thing you know, I'm seeing this guy viewing all my snaps to see who I was with, what I was doing, you know. And then when he found out about Titan, he then goes Instagram live and he tells the world, Kuti, she's having a relationship with Titan. He's the one that said it to the world, not me. And I didn't understand why he was doing that. So now this forced us to be Instagram official, me and Titan, and be lovey-dovey in front of everybody because he put it there. Maybe our relationship was going to die. Who knows? But we were pushed in this situation whereby you've made it public. Now everybody wants to know.
It would be nice for me to hear from another man, Denford, why another man would, after he's made it very clear that he no longer wants to be with somebody, right? He's moved somebody else in. And that's what someone, like at this stage of the game, like there's no coming back from this, right?
Oh, and don't forget, please count the days. By May, somebody was about 3 or 4 months pregnant. So why was I
confused?
Why
when did
was
you move out of the Greendale house?
I moved out in officially. I left on the 14th of February.
So you said by May
she was pregnant.
So
3-4 months.
I'd like to hear another man's perspective on this.
I don't know the dates exactly, but it seems as if there's a very, 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 very huge possibility that by the time that I left, this girl was pregnant.
Guys, this one is tough. What was the question?
I don't want you.
The question is, you know what I'd like to know?
I don't want you, but nobody else should have you.
Because he then, let me break it down for you real quick.
Yes.
Nkomo nanga chitamba. Mskana akabaya.
Ando.
Mskana ane munhu. Nkomo na
kunodira jecha.
Right? So on the same social media platform, which is fine.
Right.
Right? Why then you have done everything to push me away?
Right.
You've done everything in your power and might, right?
Okay.
To disregard my feelings, to make me feel some type of way, to make me feel small.
Make me look crazy.
I've gone through mental health issues.
That
legendary kuchema ijojo.
Right.
Do you understand?
Okay.
So now I've moved on and I've actually got somebody that likes me, who cares about me, appreciates me, and now all of a sudden it's a negative thing. So maybe you can chime in on why then a man would feel the need to comment on her situation, because you've got your situation. You've got a situation.
Okay.
Explain yourselves.
Guys, man. I can't help you here.
All right. Okay.
Can't help you here.
So,
but I'm
you're not going to get an answer.
Okay. All right. So
it's a guy thing.
So are you going to answer? Are you going to try and answer? Because we'd like, we can do this all day. But
we're okay. We're okay with having her and having her and having her. We want it all.
No, but you're not allowed to have it all. Do you know why you're not allowed to have it all? Because you've hurt my feelings. I'm
sorry.
a human being.
I'm sorry.
I feel some kind of way.
I'm sorry.
Right? I love you. I want to be with you. I'm prepared to do anything and everything for you. Why? Because I care.
Right.
But there's a certain level of disrespect that's too heavy to carry.
No, I was just reckless.
So, okay. So in the recklessness, are you prepared to?
It's basically saying what a man can do, a woman can't do.
Mathematics.
If a man does it, he's the man. If a woman does it, then she's a hoe.
But the reason I'm asking this, Olinda, is because you've been reckless.
Tough.
Right?
And then guess what after that? There were now false allegations, Kuti. Akanditorra mukadzi wangu, we were friends, what. They've never been friends. Never had a drink together.
But I have a question. And the reason I'd like to hear Denford's input is because all of this has happened, right? All of this, like you've cried, you've done all of this. But the question I then have is that if a person then comes back, maybe at this stage of the game it was too late, because timing is also very important, right? But if you come back and you say, you know what, Rungano, wow, like my apologies, I hurt you.
Yeah.
Right? Is apologizing then, is it something that can happen? Or do men just say, whatever? Because men also have an ego. So around their friends, they said certain things. I can only imagine that you were put down. Don't like her, she likes me. The regular stuff that we always hear.
I was told that I don't want to be this rapper with the biggest girl in the club.
Whoa. Okay.
Now, I'm a plus size athlete.
So how do we come back from all of that? And why
you cannot come back.
Why then do you not want this big girl moving on?
Nash.
No, Nash can't help.
Nash.
Because you cannot
Hold up. Producer. Okay, we have a situation here. This interview is not going to end in 15 minutes. We only got 15 minutes. Can we do a part 2 right away, right now? Because we cannot finish. I haven't even scratched the surface of what we're trying to do.
You guys really
all right, okay. All right. Can I just do a Rick Ross real quick? I'm going to go to the bathroom. I promise, unlike Rick Ross, I will come back. This episode of the Denny J Show was brought to you by Ezulwini Villa Boutique Hotel of 14 Drummond Road, Greendale, Harare. A touch of heaven on earth.
zvanga zviri downta upta raitidzwe nyaya dzacho dzese narrative ndaichidwe kana muchida kutipisa deep ndaipidwe make it spill a